Alright, so now we're back with game 4. The turn order, as you can see, was all fail, and then me, and then Toaster, and then ZXCVBN 2. I had a 4-point lead over all fail going into this game, and a many point lead over everyone else, so, yeah. Which meant that... Oh, and since I'd also had the tiebreaker sewn up with 2 wins and a tied for win, basically the only way I didn't advance is if I got 4th and all fail got 1st, or if all fail tied for 1st and I got last, or if I tied for 3rd and 4th and he got clear 1st. In any of those scenarios, he advances over me, but in any other scenario, I was going to win, so I'll keep that in mind. Now, we see Baron, Familiar, Governor, Philosopher's Stone, Tournament, Tunnel. I think those are the really important cards here, possibly Remodel actually also. And all fail thought for a long time on his first play. I think largely to do with the strategic implications of him needing it first and me needing it last, and he decided to open Baron. I went for Familiars, as did everyone else. Now, as we go through the game, you see on turn 3 he's actually able to spike a province. I'm not sure how lucky that is, although I imagine it's probably decently good. Because it's a 4-player game, it's going to end sooner, and because tournament's in play, so getting the early province is a little better, and because in the presence of cursing, getting the early tournament might be, in fact, easier to do than getting tournaments. And getting the early province might be easier to do than getting later provinces. Now, on turn 3, I'd bought a tournament thinking, oh, well, no one's going to be able to get a province anytime soon, so I might as well take a bunch of free cantrips. Very stupid of me to not react to his buying the province, and I'm pretty sure Baron would have been a better get there. Fortunately, it does not really end up hurting me. More importantly, I get this Familiar here, and Toaster gets silver and gold, which isn't at all like a super bad shuffle there. But ZXCVBN gets his potion without 3, so I'm the only one with a Familiar after that first reshuffle, which is big. All fail again connects his Baron with an estate, and goes for Governor and Pawn. Now, the thing here is I'm not so sure that Governor is very great, because there's not much of a chance that you're going to be able to chain it with a lot of things. And I think typically Governor's best when you can chain it, to an extent anyway. You have lots of golds that you're gaining off of it and such. But here, with the curses flying around, I don't think you're going to be able to get that. I may have considered going a gold, but of course Governor and Pawn is quite reasonable. Here I do get my Baron, and Toaster has quite terrible luck to, having had the potion, miss the shuffle. Also, not be able to get a Familiar there. Really good for me, though, because as the only one with Familiar for a while, I'm almost certainly not going to be behind both of those other guys. And if I'm not behind both of those other guys, I win. So I'm feeling really good at this point. All fail gets a tournament. My tournament doesn't collide, and I get another Familiar. Now Toaster's getting some more gold. Things continue on. I start handing out curses. I get more Barons. So part of the thing here is Barons are going to gain me estates, which are going to help me get a bit of a lead over, not over all fail, but over the others. And I don't need a lead over him. I just need a lead over the others. And they could potentially be good, and they're good fodder. I think they're pretty good against Governor, because if they draw, well, then I have a good chance of connecting. And if they trash, then I can defensively trash them into whatever 5 cost I want, Governor or Duchy, depending on where I am in the game. So I do quite like the Baron plays. ZXCVBN gives up at this point on getting the Familiars. Meanwhile, I have 3 Familiars before anybody has anybody else has any. Part of the other reason I went familiar is, and I should make a note of this. So on a 4-player board, the third and fourth players' curses don't hurt near as bad, relatively. So if 3 other players go cursing attacks, some kind of reasonably decent strategy by the 4th player might be better than them also going for a cursing attack. So that's a strong consideration, and I was seriously thinking before all fail decided that I was seriously thinking about going for like Baron or something, but what really tipped it over the line for me was the presence of Philosopher's Stone, and that goes so well with Familiar and the Gunky games that I figured it was going to be good. Anyway, we see the game continuing to progress. Everybody wants some governors, and All Fail is able to win a tournament pretty quick and get followers. Now, the interesting thing about followers is it helps the estates run out and it helps the curses run out. So it speeds up this 3-pile ending that I'm sort of looking for. But it also works really well with his governors, of course, so it's quite a reasonable play. And he continues to get governors. Meanwhile, I pound out more curses. And the game continues to progress. And here I go ahead and start just rushing estates, which is probably a bit of a mistake. I was thinking estates and curses and governors were going to run out, and governors were really close to running out at this point. And I guess actually maybe not so much of a mistake, and I can use them with the barons too. But at some point after some governor draws, I had the possibility of getting a province by discarding an estate to a baron and giving me 8, but I instead didn't discard it and got 3 estates to try to pile out. But at that point there were still like 9 curses left, so that was not like the best idea, I don't think, though it didn't really matter a lot. Anyway, Toaster probably makes a mistake by getting this Familiar here. The curses are decently far gone, and 7 is a lot. Anyway, things continue to go down, and I start getting some tunnels also. Tunnel an estate more than duchy here. Why? Well, because the tunnels might run, and the estates I definitely want to. Yeah. So that was, I like this decision. And off the governor trashes, estates are getting picked up, and tunnels are getting picked up. Cursors are going, but that's not such a big deal to me. All Fail gets another province, and some more trashing stuff gets picked up. Okay. I think this was the turn where I could have gotten the province. Toaster gets another province. And now we both turn tournaments into duchies, so that's nice. And stuff is just running low here. Basically, the other 2 are just way behind, so I'm not going to get last, so I'm in pretty good shape. I give out the last curses here, and actually from that, and being able to get 2 tunnels, we go up to the top. That even put me in first, which was a bit of luck. I don't particularly know that I really think that I deserved necessarily to get first, but what was really important was that I didn't get last, and that wasn't gonna happen. That wasn't particularly close to happening. So, and also, I did give out lots of curses. Anyway, comments or questions on the whole match or on this game on YouTube or on the format, and see you guys in the finals.